Today we're here at Las Flores Creek Park at our butterfly garden. Today we're going to talk about what a pollinator is, what pollinators do and why they're important, and also how can you grow your own pollinator garden in your backyard, patio, or even on your back porch. First, it's important to understand what a pollinator is. A pollinator is anything that takes pollen from the male part of the flower to the female part of the flower, thus fertilizing that plant. Some examples of pollinators here in Malibu include bees, wasps, flies, ants, butterflies, moths, and hummingbirds. They all pollinate all of our plants here in our community. When planting a pollinator garden, it's important to research the native plants you want to pick for that garden at your local nursery. One of my favorites is sticky monkey flower that's right here. You can either plant live plants or you can pick seeds as well. For live plants and for seeds, the best time to plant is in the fall, in November or December. But because of our coastal climate in Malibu, you can also plant in the springtime. You'll want to pick native plants for your pollinator garden because those are the plants that naturally occur here in Malibu. And they're the basis for our ecosystem. And they're the most important part of that ecosystem for the pollinators to all of the insects, birds, and mammals here in Malibu. When picking a location for your pollinator garden, first ask your nursery representative where your plant is going to do best. Most of our California natives are going to do best in full sun. So right here we have a white sage, and we're going to be placing that in an area where it has enough room to get larger and to grow. So when I'm planting this individual plant, I want to dig a hole that is twice as deep as the pot is and twice as wide so that it has room for those roots to grow. Once you've dug your hole and you get your plant out of the pot, you're going to want to plant the plant even with the level at which it was in the pot. So I'm going to place this in the ground and I'm going to fill in the soil around the plant. Once the plant is in the ground, you want to pack in the soil around the plant so that there's no oxygen around the roots. Here at Las Flores Creek Park, we use a lot of mulch, and that helps so that it doesn't dry out the soil as much, and it also makes it so that we have to weed less. So I'm going to then bring the mulch back around the plant. Once you have the plant in the ground and you've added the mulch around the plant, you want to give it a very thorough watering. And then you'll want to water the plant periodically, but you'll want to let the soil dry out in between waterings. So we've just planted a plant in the ground, and now we're going to show you how to plant native wildflower seed. First, you'll want to select your area so that you have enough room for the plants to grow, and then you're going to want to rake that ground so that you don't have any mulch, but it's just the ground itself. And then I have some native plant seed here, and you want to spread it out so that it's not in clumps, but it's evenly distributed on the ground. And once you have that set, you're just going to rake it again because you don't want to bury this seed. You just want it to have as much surface area contact as possible. Once you've raked your seed into the ground, you can then water it thoroughly. And this practice can be done in a pot for your balcony or in your backyard pollinator garden. Both can work. And also the same thing with our plants. You can also keep a native plant in a pot, but you'll want to talk to your nursery consultant for what plants would be best grown in a pot. I hope this has encouraged you to plant your own pollinator garden at home. And if you can't or you don't have enough space, you can always visit one of our parks here in Malibu. Las Flores Creek Park here in our pollinator garden, Trancas Canyon Park, Legacy Park, and even Charmley Wilderness Park. We have a wealth of flowers and wildlife and habitat for you to visit. Thank you so much.